What's up, guys? So I'm just getting back. A couple days ago, I just got back from FS Expo and finally got the Blackbird T6A. And so I've been waiting for this aircraft for a long time. I'm super impressed with all the different realisms and things that it has. So we took it out on a group flight last night in the stream, had a bunch of fun. So I want to take a minute to show you guys the plane. Probably not going to get so deep. Startup and all that stuff. Probably not going to get crazy deep. But first, we'll start here by showing you guys the liveries. So let's take a look at the liveries that we got. So first, we had the original one that it came with, or the main livery, the first livery, and we got the Shepherd. Actually, excuse me, the Randolph AFB 559th, and we have the Shepherd AFB 459th with the, looks like some kind of warthog type of color on it. That's a cool one. I like that one. And then we got the Randolph AFB 558th. So the Pensacola, which I like this one a lot too. We got the Whiting or Whitting, not sure. Maybe we'll take this one out. Then we have the Blackbird Sims. I think this livery you get if you download it from their website, which I think is the only place it's available right now. They got the Blackbird camo livery, digital camo, Royal New Zealand Air Force with the this livery. I like to call this bird the long-beaked fat bird. What somebody said what that was yesterday on stream, but I don't remember what it was. We have another Royal New Zealand Air Force livery, kind of similar to that one, but a different livery nonetheless. We have the polka dot livery, which I don't know, might take that one. I got a Mexican Air Force livery, looking good. I like that one. Got the Royal Canadian Air Force livery, the Mexican Navy livery, again another one. Or no, that's Air Force, that's Navy. Then you have the Daedalus. Not really sure what country that is. If you guys know what country this is by that flag in the chat, let me know. And then we have the Vance Air Force Base T6A. So I think we'll take out, let's do the polka dot livery. No one else is doing it. Let's do the polka dot one. All right, so where we're going to leave from is, I'm thinking we'll leave from Richmond, Virginia. It's a nice Orbix airport that I got a little while back. Oh, so let's leave from there. KRIC, Richmond International. And let's see here. So we took this out last night, though. Had a blast. I loved it. Did have a couple bugs, so I will say this. There was a freezing bug and a smoke bug that I had, which I'm not worried about it. Blackbird's going to get it fixed. And I knew there was some bugs, beforehand, but wasn't sure what they were. So my suggestion would be, if you have the, I think it's the SF-260, the Starfighter from Skunkworks, take that out of your inventory for now. The MXA from Gottfriends, take that out of your inventory. And then the Crode, the Microde Fokker F1, which is the old German triplane, take that out of your inventory for now, until those issues get fixed. But there is some issues where smoke will surround the back of your plane and the cockpit and it won't go away. So those, and then I think the freezing had something to do with that, because I took out all the other aircraft and everything seems fine now. All right, so we are gonna go, first we'll take a look around the aircraft. And if you just look, I mean, you have your remove before flight flags. You can take those all out. I don't know exactly what they're called. I forgot. Then you have this beautiful texturing all over the aircraft. I mean, the whole thing is just gorgeous. But if you look and you pay attention to how nice everything is, I mean, it's everything down to the, the bolts. So, and stickers and everything. I mean, it's just so well done. Which is what you come to expect from Blackbird as we, move on through 2020 and go into 2024. There's been a lot of progression from all the developers. I like to think of it as like a cumulative progression where as you know, certain developers move higher on and do better things, then you know, kind of that progressively gets better as we go. Of course, there's some developers that are kind of left in the dust by their own choice, but we don't have to talk about that today. So anyway, we're in the polka dot livery of the Blackbird T6A. I think this is called the Texan 2, and we got the chocks there. Let me see if I can show you guys. I love the pilot in there too, moving around, active. I want to show you guys, like, you can kind of see it right here, the kind of rippling effect in the metal, and then also like your I guess it's not like a traditional grip tape, but this looks really good too on all the liveries, where you would stand. I guess it says no step, but I feel like there should be, it looks like there's shoe marks there. Yeah, there is. So maybe they just mean don't step on the edge, but you know, where you go to get into the plane. Super cool. So with that said, let's go ahead and see if we can get our checklist to work. I'm a big fan of the in-game checklist. I will say, if you want to find the regular checklist, you can go right into the plane, the folder, and you have all your documentation here. So you have your advanced controls. This is for people that are using like Axis and O's, or I think it's called FSU IPC or something. These outside control parameter things. So then you have a guide to the GPS, and then you have a user guide here, which the user guide is really nice. But in lieu of the user guide, I like to use the regular checklist. So where we'll start is we will start with the cockpit checklist. Now I'm kind of going to do a quick cockpit checklist here and just turn on the things that I need. So there's like 45 different things here. There's like 45 different things here. I'm just going to do the things that I need. So I'm going to kind of scan through this. Let's see here. GPS power switch. I'll turn that on so we have that's just a push in. So we have, let's see, ELT switch. We don't need that, but we can arm that. So it is armed. Turn the volumes up a little bit so you can hear these ambient noises. We'll set the parking brake. Generator switch, turn that off. Fuel balance switch, that's already on auto. Let's see here. Avionics master switch, let's turn that on. I love that switch. It's like a big like block of cheese or something, but it's, you know, it's not the color of cheese, but it looks like cheese cubes or something. Being from Michigan, close to Wisconsin, you know, cheese is like the best. Fuel boost pump, I'm turning that on. Fuel boost pump. Then we put it to arm. Let's see, power management unit, put it on norm, it's on. Defog switch, which is down here. We don't need that on, so we'll leave that off. Evaporator blower control. I don't think we need to change that. Let's see. Pressurization switch, normal and guarded. Let's check to see if that is norm and guarded. It's good. Ram airflow switch. I don't think we need that on right now. Temperature control set to auto. Okay, so then engine start. We're gonna go. This is a cold start. It's on battery. So let's see. So we have cold start on battery. Canopy closed and locked. If you want to open the canopy. Open it just like that. I'm not really sure why it did that, but who cares? It's closed, it's locked, and we're good to go. So now we need to open back up our checklist. Let's see here. So engine start, we're gonna go right from here. Navigation, anti-collision lights, we're going to turn all that stuff on. We'll turn our taxi lights on. We'll turn the landing lights on. Turning on the trim aid now. I don't know if I'm supposed to turn that on now, but it looks like those lights are... Ooh, I like that, how the blue, how it lights up blue, which ones you're supposed to be looking at. I'm not sure that I've seen every... I'm not sure I've seen everyone do that. Okay, so start ready is going to be right here, because we were on off, so you need to push it up and then pull it back to idle. Propeller, clear prop, make sure we're clear. And starter switch, we turn to auto. And you just do a quick click forward, and you should start spinning here. Engine instruments monitor and check. Power and control lever is to idle. GPU disconnect. Okay, so I have my ignition on. I'm gonna put it to norm now. Get rid of this noise. So fuel balance is on auto. Let's see, master generator. I'm gonna turn that on. Okay, so this is before taxi, right? So we're gonna taxi, bleed air switch is normal. Avionics master switch on, oxygen supply on, and that's gonna get rid of your OBOGS failure light here. So actually that was the switch there. It gets rid of that light, so now we have no more lights. Oxygen diluter. Turn it on to normal. Emergency oxygen, blah, blah, blah. TAS. TAS. So it's going to be on. It's already on. Let's see. TAS ring. That should... We'll probably just leave that, but we'll look at it for now just to see where it's at. So I think we're good. We're just going to take off as far as I can see. Set our altimeters. Yeah, we're just going to take off. But yeah, so you can start it with the checklist. Everything moves around, which is really great. I turned my ignition on when I hit the auto starter. I don't think I needed that because I was using the auto starter, but I've done it every time I've started it. Just, I don't know if it was out of habit or what, but so I got my parking brake off, and we're gonna go ahead and taxi. It takes a little bit to get this moving, which I think is more realistic than other things that you'd see. So, I have went in here. So if you go to the tablet, you go to controls, and you go to your stick grip, right? Nose wheel steering, you can click in here, and you can like click your, so just click that, you'll click a button, and then you'll hit, let's clear it out and do another one. So I'll click the button that I want, and then I'll hit save, right? Okay, so now I have my nose wheel steering. Right now it's on. And then I click my button and turn it off, turn it on, etc. Okay, so now we're gonna move. We're just gonna find a place to take off, go for a short little flight, show you guys, we'll look at the EFB and stuff as we go, maybe once we land, who knows. Depends on how I'm feeling. Love the sounds in this thing though, man. The sounds are phenomenal. I don't think there's any original sounds in this, like as far as the regular sounds, like the ground creaking sounds and all that stuff. I don't think there's any original sounds in this. I think it's all custom sounds, which is great. using a Tobii Eye Tracker 5. If you guys haven't tried one yet, you're not a VR person, Tobii Eye Tracker 5 is great. I love mine. I wouldn't fly without it ever. Alright, we're going to taxi on to runway 22, I think. Actually, looks like just runway 2. We're going to take off in somewhat of a crosswind here. So one thing that you want to do is make sure that your TAD is on. It's your basically helps your rudder trim. It's automatic, so you can click this button down here. Also, the other thing before we take off, I wanted to show you, you can set the nose wheel steering with a button. Ooh, FS Birds. I love FS Birds. Or you can hit this button, which it is grabbable or clickable from. You don't have to, like, you know, go and do that. So I would prefer to set the button in the tablet. But look at this tablet, by the way. Love the OtterBox on it. Love it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off, well, actually nose wheel steering. No, I'm going to turn it off, and we're going to go ahead and take off. Alright, so taking off. Again, I'm going full speed. We got about a 7-knot crosswind or so. Wind was a little higher earlier, but it's kind of slowed down, so I'm going to put in a notch of flaps. Ooh. Flaps up. Gear up. And we're off. Alright, so basically just going to follow around the airport here, and let's get a little level flight for a second. I'm going to show you guys the tablet. So, and the reason I'm choosing to do the tablet in the air is because I want you guys to hear how nice this sounds. It sounds so good. Okay, so you have your failures and realisms. I'm going to leave them off for now, but I can tell you that there's a bunch of stress-based damage and failures that you can turn on or off as a whole here. You can go from easy to max realism. Max realism will put this right in the middle to realistic, and then I haven't quite figured out all the way over to the poor maintenance side yet, but I imagine it just turns it into a really messed up plane. So the other thing that's cool, a lot of developers leave either like the mechanical failures or the like engine failures and stuff like that. A lot of developers leave that stuff, one or the other, out. I really like that this has both. So we'll take a look at the timed failures page. So you can set all of these different elevators, aileron, speed brake, rudder, flaps, landing gear, engine, hydraulics, electrical, trim aid device, which is again your trim aid device right here, which controls your rudder trim to account for torque from the engine, the propeller spinning. So you can set them to random, which they'll happen randomly, and then you can also set like low or high, which I don't think any of them should work because I have everything turned off, but just to show you. And then you can set like time to fail 1 minute or higher. I think you can, oh, you can type in that box too. Nice. That's great. Alright, so then also you have your status page where you can clear all the failures. You also have another place to clear failures here. Another thing I love about this plane is that it has cold and dark in a ready to fly mode, which takes a few seconds for it to configure. But when you do it, it's going to tell you that it's configuring up here, which is, I mean, you couldn't ask for more than that. So you can also charge both your main battery, your aux battery, take off your chocks, pins, covers, and external power on and off there. So you do have your student pilot here. You can add the instructor in the back, which is cool. They move around, they look realistic. You can also take both of them out if you want to fly ghost mode. I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. I haven't quite figured out the AI pilot. but I've heard that it basically controls like the radios and stuff, so that's pretty neat. As far as like an autopilot that will hold straight and level, I haven't found anything with it yet. This autopilot here kind of reminds me of like the KLN, I think it's called, that just came out for the Duke, and now it's in the Comanche. I haven't quite figured this out. I can use it in the Duke, I can use it in the Comanche, but I haven't quite figured it out yet. But I know that right now, as far as I can tell, there's no like straight and level, you know, wings level, anything like that. They did say that it is a plan, that they are going to add it in, most likely on the first regular update. So with that being said, we'll check out the other pages of the EFB. So you have your GPS database region, which this will load different regions: USA, Americas, Atlantic, Pacific, or I just have mine on World. GPS software version, don't know exactly what that is, but again, you can go into the documentation in the aircraft file and find information on that. Now, the aircraft smoke, right? So we have a white, got to turn it on over there. Also, you need to make sure that this is on in your tablet, because if you have that off, you see there's no buttons in the cockpit. Once you turn that on, there's buttons in the cockpit. So here we have our smoke, and it lasts pretty long. Nice contrails or whatever coming off the wings there. And then you can also change the color of the smoke. What I did notice is that when you change the color of the smoke, it changes all of the smoke. So if you want to put like a rainbow trail out there, that might be kind of hard, but I kind of like it this way. I'm not one to change the color of my smoke. I'm kind of in a mood usually, and so I'll just keep it the same. So you got the green, and then you have the red. Now these are not your bright rainbow colors. Most of the colors of the smoke are a little darker in color, which I like that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the smoke. The ABOS system, haven't figured that out again. Look in the documentation to figure that out. So you can turn on a breathing volume, which I imagine this is like when you're pulling G's for the oxygen. Yeah, you can hear the oxygen going off. Gonna get into a flat spin here. I can pull out of this. Ooh, ooh. Holy, almost crashed into the Lowe's, man. I'm gonna get some JCPenney's discounts, deep discounts. It's a hole in the roof. Everybody gets in for free. Alright, so that being said, so there's your smoke and your breathing and stuff like that. So far I have this turned off. I'll kind of mess with this a little later. One pro tip, turn your Tobii eye tracker off when you're trying to click small buttons. It's not easy to do. So now here's your trims, your controls. I showed a little bit of this earlier, but yeah, you can set all your different controls here, whatever you want. Just set them inside of there. You got your axis calibration here, and then let's see. One more thing that I found was a little difficult to find was the trim. How do you get the trim to be less responsive? So I went in here to trim, and I turned all the pitch trim speed, roll trim speed, I turned it down. I left the tad effectiveness right wherever it started. So anyway, let's do a little low pass of the airport. Again, this is KRIC, Richmond International from Orbix. We'll attempt a hammerhead, and we'll see if that's gonna go well for me or not. Try to get a little altitude first, and then we'll go ahead and land back on the runway that we started on, even though we'll have about a 7-knot crosswind at the ground. So, but I love this thing, man. So the flight model feels really, really good. I mean, I mean, I don't know, I can't even explain to you how good the flight model feels. It just feels so, it doesn't feel constricted. It feels very doesn't feel loose either. It just feels very good. I love the little heat blur that you see off the side here, depending on, I think the faster you go, the more that will go off to the side there. The cockpit look, I mean, it definitely looks like I could put a couple cigarettes out on that thing, you know what I'm saying? It has that used look to it, but also it looks really clean and brand new. I don't know how to, I'm like a walking controversy, I know. All right, let's go ahead and climb vertically. You can also turn off the cockpit glass. I think that's like some VR people like to do that. Oh. Gotta get out of this flat spin. Ailerons neutral, reverse, not reverse, but roll off the throttle, and opposite rudder. So I'm going to try that hammerhead one more time. Kind of rusty on them here. Gain all the speed I can get until we almost rip the wings off. This time we may not have enough height to recover, so I got to make sure that I hit this one. There we go. This one's a lot better. There we go. All right, perfect. Another little tip, when you want the speed brake, you need to make sure that your throttle isn't all the way forward, okay? The speed brake's going to shake a little bit because of the wind. As you slow down, you notice that shaking go away. We're going to go ahead and get rid of the speed brake. I think it actually automatically got rid of it when I put down the flaps. We're going to go landing flaps. Remember, we have a crosswind here. Go ahead and put down the gear and watch the gear go down. Beautiful. Oh, the sounds. Oh, man. Like I said, I don't think there's any original, like any OG sim sounds. You know how you hear that kind of same creaking and rattling noise in a lot of planes? This is all original, which I love. So we're coming in a little high here, but that's okay. I am a soul pilot. Not in real life, but in sim life I am. By the way, guys, Expo was amazing. We had our very first National ESTOL competition live. It's not something we plan to do on a consistent basis, but to see everybody there cheering on the people and hooting and hollering, that was awesome. I have another YouTube short if you want to check that out. But let's focus up on landing here. Remember, there's no reversers on most. Ooh, dog! I know I'm gonna get some shit in the comments for that. Remember, there's 14 knot crosswind now at the ground. So, but remember, you know, there's most fighter jets. There's no reversers, right? So basically, it doesn't make sense to have reversers in a trainer. A lot of turboprops have reversers, but it doesn't make sense to have them in a trainer because there's really no jets that have reversers, right? No fighter jets that have reversers. So anyway, this has been the Blackbird T6A ADV, the Texan 2. Amazing aircraft, full immersion, ton of great liveries. I think there's at least 10 liveries, and just beauty all around. I mean, it is so immersive. So I love it. I'm gonna go fly it some more. I will see you guys later, but I gotta get you guys out of here, man. I can't fly around like an idiot like I like to do with YouTube watching. So don't forget to subscribe, like the video. I will talk to you guys hopefully on a live stream. We'll see you guys on an open group flight. We do them 4 days a week on Twitch, twitch.tv/BurstixTV. Stop in on a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday, and join the Discord too. I'll have the links in the description below to the plane and everything else. So peace, guys. Much love. Talk to you later.